Welcome to Goddesses in the World. I'm Sophia Eastmont, and you're watching Goddess Stories, which is a segment I created to celebrate women in our communities up to awesome things. So they may not necessarily be in the limelight. You know, we're used to seeing all these success stories from famous people, and I want to bring you real life stories of women doing their bit in the world, making their mark, and getting over their own limitations to live the life they want. So today I've got Ange Macdonald with me. She's a good friend and she's an absolute expert at creating life in her own terms. So she created U Style Co. And she empowers hundreds of women to create gigs that free up their time, bring them more income, and overall help them create a life that's fulfilling, again, whatever that means for them. So one of the things she shares in this short video is a process that she follows of a few questions that by the end of it will give you clarity on exactly what you want to accomplish, and it'll start freeing up ideas on how to get there. Again, you may have already done stuff like this, but today is really a pick me up, and again, from a woman to woman, someone in the real world doing what they love. We also don't sugarcoat anything. So Angie's going to say or share exactly what it took for her to create what she's up to now, and she'll share some of the hit and misses she's had over the years. So get some inspiration. I hope you enjoy it, and I'd love to hear from you at the end. What did you get out of this interview, and what processes are you using yourself to create a life that you love? Enjoy it. I will catch you later.
Hello, Ange. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you? Good to be here
Good.
with you.
Yeah, really great to have you here as well. I just love your energy, and I really want to share that with the Goddesses in the World community.
Fantastic.
And
Thank
I
you.
would love for you to share the wisdom that you've gathered from your life journey that has been so rich. So I would like to ask you a few questions
Mm,
um, and hear what you have to say from the heart. So I'll
thank
start
you.
by asking you, what what does it mean to you to live a life on your own terms?
Mm,
And what processes or rituals do you use to determine that?
fantastic. They're great questions. So thank you very much for that. Really, a life, living a life on my terms really means being able to hang out with people that I want to be surrounded by. Have the freedom and flexibility to do what I want to do, So for me, it's about being able to access my family in New Zealand anytime I want, to not have to be constrained to go into a 9-to-5 job, and to be able to travel the world with my family, my husband, and also to enrich people. Being able to touch people and enhance people's lives and make an impact is a big thing for me. And so over the last few years, I have been, I suppose, designing my life to be able to get myself in a position to live on my terms, and it feels so good. Certainly, for people that are listening to this, I would encourage everyone to really just take stock as to what it means to them to live on their terms. And I feel that a lot of people can, I suppose, get caught up in the day-to-day or just the bouncing around in life. And I really believe that by taking charge and being the driver of your life is such a fulfilling way to live. And we only get one life. So why not be on our terms? Some processes that have helped me to really identify what I want and what it means to live a full life for me is really, I suppose, annually sitting down with myself, take myself away to a nice beach. Maybe it's on Sunshine Coast, or down to Byron Bay, or down to the Gold Coast. I live in Brisbane, by the way. And just really looking out in the water, and then looking at running out my thoughts around what my goals are, what my vision is. And at the start of the year, I actually came across this really cool framework, which I'm happy to share with everyone and yourself, Sophia. And it's about 25 questions, and it provokes thought as to what you want in life. So, whether it be travel, whether it be finances, whether it be finding your purpose, learning a new language. But there are 25 questions to actually provoke thought as to what you want. And it actually comes out to about 100 goals, lifetime goals. And when we say lifetime goals, it's a 5-year sort of plan. And then you can sort of drill deeper into what priorities are for a particular year coming. And so I then check in with myself quarterly on how I'm tracking with those goals. So for me, that helps me determine, living on my terms and sort of rolling from there. And it's definitely, there's daily processes that I go through on tapping into that, sort of meditation around visualizing it and manifesting things that I want to attract into my world. So does that sort of answer your questions there?
Yeah, it does. It's really cool. I have a similar process, so I can relate, even though, motherhood kind of took me on a different journey. I think I still do those things, and I still feel that my life gets created more powerfully if I do have those rituals in place.
Absolutely.
We'll add some links to the interview as well.
Cool.
Share that.
Happy to share that. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. So tell me about You Tribe, and why did you create it? What's behind the idea?
Cool. You Tribe is a community of people. It's all about you living on your terms and designing your best life. So it's a tribal community of people that are really wanting to fulfill that, essentially. And that has stemmed from there's emerging trends out there that are happening where people are wanting a gig, or they identify there's platform economy, which really means people are wanting to design their own life. A lot of them are, and they're wanting sort of a gig of some description. And you can have a look around the world and see technology is displacing and will continue to displace a lot of jobs, the traditional 9-to-5 jobs. And the gig economy is sort of moving into people getting a few different gigs or a side gig to, I suppose, align with what they want in life. And You Tribe is all about helping people design a bit of a gig, design what life looks like for the individual, and really helping others do that globally. So we have grown globally. We started here in Brisbane from my home, and we have got about 1,500 people within You Tribe. Some are looking at that as a full-time gig or a part-time gig, and it's a lot of fun. The big thing with this is actually fulfillment, creating freedom, having fun, and really making life yours. So that's what You Tribe's all about. It's all about you.
Cool. And how did you come up with the idea? What was the main driver for it?
I suppose it was based on what I was looking for in life, which was, really being in the driver's seat of life. And I'm all about helping people based on their goals. And I've always, throughout my career prior to You Tribe, have really, I feel good when I'm helping people create good things in their world. And prior to You Tribe, I was in a consulting business, helping businesses grow through strategic planning and goals. And I thought that was what I was meant to be doing, the corporate level, the business level. And that felt good for me. So that sort of like moved into more of creating my own community around that. Yeah.
Cool. And how did you go from a career that sucked your soul? And I don't mean it like that because it doesn't feel like that at the time. So you and I both had a bit of a crossover in our corporate careers, which is awesome. But how did you go from realizing that it did suck your soul to a point because it wasn't what you wanted to do? And how did you transition it into a career that you love? And you know, what do you think were the key moments and the tools you used to make that happen?
They're really good questions. I think if I go back a few steps, when I was actually working for someone else in the consulting world to the accounting world, in the accounting industry, whilst, you know, I had a lot of great, I suppose, successes there, and I was working with amazing people, the actual hours and the commute and what was required of me, I felt was sucking my soul. You know, and then I thought, this is not the way I thought life was going to be, and decided to go into my own business, which was the consulting business I had. And I essentially bought myself a job, but under my own name, but worked longer hours, worked a lot harder in that space, and it was all based on me. I absolutely had no leverage. So the money was great, but I had no time freedom to do what I wanted to do. And going back to what I was saying, you know, living on my terms was having having time freedom and the ability to do what I want when I want. So, and part of my journey in my late 20s was I had a health incident where I had 5 major operations. I suffered from endometriosis, which I know many women suffer from, and mine was quite severe. And throughout that period, you know, you do a lot of soul searching through those challenging journeys, and I really made a promise to myself that we only get one life, and it's about actually making it amazing. And you know, coming out of that journey and working long hours and all that was like, no, this is not the way it's meant to be. You know, there's so much more to life. And that decision back then has helped me really craft and design my life and help others do the same thing. So
very cool. So what do you think, what were the key tools that you used to make that shift? Because I guess it happened over a period of time, right? So
yeah, totally.
Say stuck with you from all the tools you would have used, because you're like me, you know, you're
yes,
you know, you're always learning, always finding new things. So what stuck with you, if you are to reflect back again in a way that serves someone else who might be dealing with the same situation right now?
I think a lot of it comes down to surrounding yourself with great people that maybe have walked the path before you. So mentors are fantastic. So people that you aspire to and that have had some level of success. So I think being surrounded by that thinking and that energy is a great thing. And they do say that you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. So I encourage everyone to seek out people that are great and surround themselves with them. So that sort of helped me. And also, you know, reaching out and being proactive with courses, you know, to help with mindset. You know, that is, I feel, the foundation of your success and your ability to live a full life is where your mind is at. So, you know, if you can do meditation, do any courses that you can tap into, and expand, being the best version of you around that. And I think the other thing, transitioning from, I suppose, the corporate world or circumstances where you're not so happy or challenged by, it's about having some guts and grit to just take the leap to make a change. I think that, you know, it's about just embracing that uncomfortableness to move into something that maybe you can't foresee the entirety of the next chapter, and just doing it. So a bit of guts, determination and grit around that, and also openness to growing as a person is a huge thing, and surrounding yourself with good people. Yeah.
Cool. So was there like a disempowering belief or some disempowering beliefs you had to?
Oh, yes.
confront. Yeah, cool. Because I love talking about that. Because some people go, "Oh, what does that mean?" Right? So had to get in there, right?
Oh yeah. So it's like a big thing for me all my life has been just a lack of self-confidence in here, you know. So that has stemmed from a young child and sort of, you know, has been with me throughout my life. But I have faced that, like, you know, you've got to look at that and lean into it and move forward through it. So my personal biggest thing has been overcoming confidence issues, the belief that I can do it. Am I worthy, you know, of it? And, you know, that if you choose to stay in that, you stay small. If you lean into it, look at it and grow through it, that is where all the, you know, the beauty is really around that.
Yeah, I totally relate to what you're saying. And I guess that's why I asked the question, because particularly for women, which is mainly who we're speaking to today, but I guess it's just human condition anyway. Everyone suffers from it. But I see a lot of us women staying in the shell and maybe not finding ways to step out of that and really start loving ourselves and finding ways to be confident and get past the not good enough thing. So
yes,
that's why these conversations are important, and that's why I'm having them in the first place, so that whoever's sitting out there, sitting on something, sitting on their magic, they need to actually, it doesn't happen to the select few. It happens to people who look their lack of confidence in the eye, I guess, and it's a very ugly process, but very
totally. It's confronting, but it's if you want to grow, you know, personally and everything else, it's such a great thing to do. It's like building that muscle, isn't it? That's strengthening that muscle. You got to work it.
Yeah, and I guess you know, it is present in everything you want to do. So you just have to go, right, you're going to take the back seat now, and the more you practice putting it in the back seat, the more it stays in the back seat. That's what I've found.
Exactly right. Yeah. And often you can sense it. You can sense that, oh, I don't want to go there. I don't, you know, you don't want to sort of face whatever it is that you're feeling here. But that feeling is when you've got that sort of rub, you need to actually do whatever it is that you're feeling challenged by, because you'll feel amazing and have growth out of it. Yeah.
So what is something you wish every woman on the planet knew?
Their genius, their inner genius, their inner beauty. And I think just what we've just mentioned, actually, Sophia, is actually, I think a lot of women, they serve others, and maybe that, you know, some of them, you know, just keep small. So I think it's about tapping into their genius and also their beauty and sharing their message to the world, whatever that is, because I think that will make it, you know, will have more impact for themselves and also people around them. So yeah.
So cool. Yeah, I wish the same. So we've already touched a little bit on this, but like me, you're a believer in personal growth. So what is one tool or process that you keep getting back to when life throws you a curveball, or when you're stuck, or you want to create something new? But maybe in your lowest moments, what is the go-to?
Yeah. It's actually I'm working on an area of my life at the moment that I'm wanting to improve, and it's identifying what I have grown through. Like sometimes, you know, when you're sort of you're trying to force something, or you're trying to attract something or get better at it. And I'll give you a little story. I was actually at lunch the other day with a friend of mine, and her mantra that she was saying this winter was, I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to get sick. And then she woke up the other day and she was sick. She sort of manifested the sick. She goes, oh, I should have said I'm healthy.
Yes.
But,
the mind,
you know,
hear the no.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And then I walked away from that lunch and I was thinking, actually, since my health challenge that I had a few years ago, I have worked on myself. I've been proactive with, you know, taking good supplements, exercising, looking after myself, having good sleep. And and I just am in the knowing, just absolute knowing that I don't get sick. Like, well, I am healthy. Sorry, I am healthy, very, very healthy. So I'm just in that knowing. So this area of my life that I'm working on at the moment I was doing lots of mantras. I was sort of forcing it, thinking about it. I think it's moving from that forced space into just being in the knowing.
Yeah,
isn't it? Like it's yes,
that's
the
right.
trust. We were talking about before, just the allowing or the letting go of something, but just being in the knowing of stuff, you know. I think that's a huge thing. But you need to be proactive around whatever it is that you're wanting to, you know.
Sometimes, I don't know if you find that, but it takes a certain level of feeling like you're pushing through to then have enough of it and go, I'll let it run its course. And then it's like, oh, all right, that thing just worked itself out, right? A lot of the time that you do push against it so much that it's kind of what it takes to finally just let it go and let it run its course, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I don't know whether that's a sort of a process, but it's certainly it's a way of being, isn't it? Really? Yeah. So,
yeah, cool. So, any final thoughts you'd like to share with our fellow goddesses? Maybe around
probably just
mantras or about life itself, or maybe about themselves. Something about
I think
you may have learned.
Yeah, I think it's a daily being proactive daily with working on yourself. I know certainly having space in your day to, whether it be do a meditation or a visualization or journaling, listening to podcasts, that's sort of another element of being surrounded by great people. If you're sort of, it's sort of nourishing your mind. So I think it's a daily practice that you need to get into to being the best version of you and living on your terms, because it expands your thinking. And really, as I mentioned before, you get one life. Seriously, one life. So why get caught up in the daily grind or the bouncing around? You're not a victim in this life, as in the victim to your circumstances. Get in the driver's seat and make it a great one, really.
That's awesome. So to wrap up, if someone wants to know more about You Tribe or ask you any questions, what's the best way to go about it?
Absolutely. Certainly you can just email me or reach out via my website. So I can drop those details in the link below or up above, which way we're going to go.
We're going to go different ways, so we'll include those.
Sophia, thank you so much for having me on. And, this is awesome what you're doing for the woman of the world. And you're making a great impact. And I want to say thank you to you for your magic in this world. You're amazing. So, yeah.
Well, thank you. And I recognize the magic in you, and that's why I decided to interview you. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.